Okay, welcome to DevDecoder. This is the first episode of or inaugural episode of our podcast. I'm here with Rebecca.
Hi.
Can you introduce yourself? Who are you?
I'm Rebecca.
Rebecca, really? Is that definitely your name?
Sometimes Rachel or Raquel. Sometimes Craig will just make up names and I'll respond to them.
Yeah. So today she's going to be Rebecca, just so people don't get confused. But if it changes from week to week, then you know why. I'm Craig.
They don't know why.
Well, it's because I have a really bad memory for names.
No, that's not why.
It's because I like winding you up.
That's bad.
Because it's never actually worked yet. So the DevDecoder podcast is supposed to be here to help people that get an insight into what it's like to be in the developer industry, which is what we do. At least that's what our company does. Mm-hmm. So I'm a developer myself. And what do you do mostly?
I'm in the marketing team.
That's not the only kind of things you've been doing whilst you've been here, is it though?
No, I do a lot of different roles. One job, many roles is what we call it.
You've been running the code clubs for some of our young people.
Yeah.
And you've taught yourself to do a bit of coding, haven't you? Mm-hmm. So even though you didn't come here to develop and stuff, you've got your hand in a little bit. And do you enjoy working in the developer industry?
I think it's different. You get a lot of different aspects that you wouldn't do otherwise, like technical knowledge and learning about tech industry, I guess.
So what are you hoping to get out of being involved in the podcast?
I'm hoping to learn more. I don't really have a techie background. I'm not up to date with the latest tech, so hopefully Craig can teach me a few things. What are you looking to get out of it, Craig?
I guess for me, I'm really, really keen to make this industry more accessible to people, pierce the veil a little bit, let people see what it's like behind the curtain. Definitely interested in making it so that more young people get excited about a career in development and the kind of possibilities that are out there for them. And hopefully making sure that people, particularly developers, start seeing development in a new way, in a different way, which is really the theme behind the whole DevDecoder series of stuff we're going to be doing. So that's really what I'm going to try and do.
So every podcast is going to be a little different. We're going to talk about the latest tech news. We're going to have some interviews about the tech industry, getting into the tech industry, and having a bit of a laugh, as always.
Well, you do like laughs, don't you?
Yeah, I laugh at pretty much everything. So
particularly dad jokes. This week being our first one, we've actually just come off the back of 2 hackathons on 2 weekends. Do you want to tell everyone what a hackathon is?
So a hackathon normally is a 24-hour coding competition. The best of each category will get a prize. So we did best in show. And the best hack ended up getting a Nintendo console.
A Super Nintendo console. There is a difference.
They're so different.
They are. They're very, very different.
There's no difference whatsoever.
There is a huge difference between the Nintendo Entertainment System and the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
There just really isn't. It's no Spyro though, is it? Crash Bandicoot, those are the way forward. It's not the same.
But it's going to be good because we actually did get some interviews over this last one this weekend.
We did. So we spoke to a few people there, asked them various questions. It was at Manchester Metropolitan University. So let's hear what they had to say about why they're there and why they attend hackathons.
Hi, so who,
No, I'm joking.
so who are you?
I'm Mel.
Hi, Mel.
Hi.
Hi, Mel.
Hi.
This is Rebecca.
Oh, sick. Nice to meet you.
So what are you
Is it meant to be more formal?
Nah.
No.
That's cool.
I'm in it, so.
What are you doing here today?
I'm here to be with my friends and have a good time hacking away.
So why did you come to hackathons?
Well, it's my second ever hackathon and I had a good time the first time, so I thought I'll do another one.
What do you want to learn when you're here?
Well, I don't think you can ever stop learning, so I'm here to learn new stuff and keep improving my skills.
Why do you think it's important that you come to hackathons?
I think it's important because you get to interact with a lot of people, innit? And you get to meet more people and bond with your friends.
Okay, so who are you?
I'm Suvi.
Hi, Suvi.
Hi, Suvi.
Hi.
How many hackathons have you been to?
Too many to count, I think.
And do you attend them or do you just mentor them?
No, I usually attend them. I mentor the young ones, so the youth ones mostly. But yeah, I mostly like to attend them.
What is it about mentoring that you really enjoy?
Kids coming up with ideas that when I was that age I would have never come up with, and seeing how they can actually implement them as well. It's quite interesting to see how they approach those ideas, how they try and learn new things, and I wish I could have done that when I was that age, but I never had the platform to.
Has coming to hackathons helped you in any way, or?
Yeah, definitely. It's helped me meet new people, learn a lot from other people, actually make loads of connections, and express myself more. It might seem like hackathons is like for computer geeks who just want to get on with their own stuff, but it actually helps you develop social skills as well, because you're meeting new people all the time and talking to them, learning more about them as well. So yeah, I'd definitely say social skills have improved.
You're listening to DevDecoder podcast. You can find us on all the major podcasting platforms.
And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at DevDecoder.
You can email us using podcast@devdecoder.com.
Or check out our website at devdecoder.com. So now we're going to talk about tech news that we've seen in the last week, have a bit of a discussion about them and see where we go from there. So my first topic for discussion, I'm not very techy, so this is all going to be completely new to me. So now, as of last week, all companies have joined Apple and turned the gun emoji into a water pistol.
I have not seen this.
This is what's happened as of last week. Yeah, all like Microsoft, Google, they're all now water pistols. They've all got to go through that change.
Is this because of not Sandy Hook, the latest school shooting?
I don't know, but would you really say that a gun emoji would influence people to do that? Is there not games that are way worse that have guns involved?
Oh, are you one of these people that think that because people play violent video games, it encourages violence?
No, but I don't think the gun emoji influences people any more than what violent games do.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one. But I mean, America, of course, has the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean that they get to wear t-shirts. It's a very different... That joke. It's...
But do you think it's changed anything? Like, they still have a knife emoji.
I don't know. I think that... Well, we talk about this a lot, don't we, when we talk about ethics and stuff in the company, and we talk about other things around just technology. And a lot about development is about understanding how people use your systems and about what messages you send and how you communicate. And it's important that you control your messaging. So it's important that you send a message that you want to be associated with. So I suppose in the case of Apple and Microsoft and Google, they don't want to be associated with the image of guns. They don't want to have that.
But then they're happy to be associated with knives.
Yeah, I think there's there's an element there of, well, why do they have any violent weapons in there? You'd have to probably ask, did Apple say why they've done this, or is it just deemed to be obvious?
I think it was just obvious. Yeah. But is anybody not using the water pistol emoji as a gun? They still interpret it as a gun.
Yeah. I think probably what Apple and Facebook and Microsoft and Google are all really doing with this is sending a message that they don't want to be associated with guns as being a positive image for them. You could argue knives, for example, have other uses. I mean, it's very, very, there's a debate. There's very few other uses for a gun than to shoot things. I think that's
true.
That's probably the distinction for it. Big news in May 2018 is the pending imminent arrival of GDPR.
Oh, I know about this one.
What do you know about GDPR?
So it's a data legislation.
Yes, from the European Union.
Yeah, so you have to change the way that you store people's data. People have got to opt in rather than opt out.
Yeah, that's part of it.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah, so that's one of the changes. I mean, that's one part of GDPR, definitely. I mean, there's a lot to do with GDPR. There's the idea that, the one you've highlighted there, which is you can no longer just have somebody, by signing up to your service, automatically assume that gives you the right to contact them with marketing materials, sell their data on, etc. You have to be more explicit about asking for the permission, and you actually have to receive the permission direct, so that's opt in more than opt out. That was Rebecca. So you have to opt in rather than opt out, but that's a very small part of it. There's the right to be forgotten legislation is kind of bundled up in there. The right for you to request for information to be removed.
See, what I find is when I'm just doing my thing, ordering clothes online like I do, I never tick the box that says I want to opt in to receive newsletters and offers. I never tick that box, and I still get emails with newsletters and offers. How does that work? I never tick that box.
Well, first of all, GDPR doesn't come in until I think 28th of May, or 25th of May this year. So we're still a few weeks away from it coming in. But we did have DPA before that, the Data Protection Act.
But even when you're not opting in, you still opted in.
There's a great website that I recommend everyone sign up to called Have I Been Pawned? So Have I Been, been pawned, pwned.com. And it basically keeps track. It's a very respected security researcher, so it's a very, you can trust this site. And if you put your email account into it, it will tell you all the times your email appears in data breach.
No.
Yeah. And you can register on it so that it will email you anytime your email is identified in one of the mainstream data breaches. Now, I put my emails in there, and I regularly get emails that my email address has been pawned. What it tells you is that you should always use different passwords for every single site you go on. Things like that's really important. Be very careful where your data goes out.
Got another one. You're going to like this one. I'm going to go on a rant. So my next one is TSB. I think I've moaned to Craig about this over the weekend. Oh, it might have been someone else. Have you heard about this? TSB?
TSB, the bank?
Yeah.
Do they still exist?
Yes.
Oh, it was Lloyd's TSB and they got split up, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they became their own bank, yeah.
Yeah, so basically, last weekend, they notified all the customers that they're going to have some downtime from Friday to Sunday so they can update, and that then lasted until about Thursday. So I could not access my money for about 7 days.
Oh my God.
7 days.
Now, to be fair, that's probably not a huge problem for you because you don't have a lot of money because you spend it all on clothes.
That's true, but I did try and buy a bag on PayPal and it declined me because it couldn't access my account.
This actually sounds like a good thing, though.
I still bought it. But if I couldn't buy that bag in the sale, what would I have done?
You would have had one less bag.
I would have been so sad. I would have been absolutely gutted. Fuming. I had to put a tweet out about it.
I guess this illustrates a really important point, though, doesn't it? That it doesn't matter how big the company is. Technology is difficult, and people get it wrong all the time.
Yeah, but you can't tell me that they tested that and it was working.
Well, I think it's this thing people often underestimate. These big, large, complex systems, when we deploy them, they're complicated. And we can deploy them to test systems. We often call that UAT, so user acceptance testing. That's a common term in the industry, but there's a lot of other names for it. And you can test it in those user acceptance environments, and people can come along and run load tests, and they can do test trial runs, but it's still not the same servers and architecture that you're going to actually deploy the system to. Ultimately, it's never quite the same. I think a lot of people think that computer science is pure science and that development and software engineering is pure science, but there's a huge amount of art to it. There's experience, and things can go wrong. They're very complex systems, and when things go wrong, it can be very complicated to fix and get right. And there's also, a lot of people that have not done this before. There's a lot of young people in the industry, and a lot of those young people haven't had the experience of doing it. I mean, the last time TSB probably updated those systems could have been decades ago, for all you know. They don't, big financial systems can often go for decades without being on,
But they also could have warned people that it's from Friday to Sunday, but just as a warning, get all your money out now.
My guess is, knowing the way this industry kind of works, is that people, the project managers and the developers and test engineers were all saying this will take half a day. And the management and senior management have added another half day onto that, and then the senior management above that have added doubled it to 2 days. So I suspect that they fully anticipated it all being done on Saturday, and they'd left themselves some contingency by saying, oh, well, it might be Sunday as well. What none of them predicted was something really silly would happen and they'd still be there on Thursday, which just goes so it's very hard to predict how long something's going to take until you've done it. Because often when banks or large organisations are doing these updates, they're actually updating one small part of the system, and they can do that with very minimal downtime, or they try to aim for zero downtime, i.e. the system carries on running, or just a little piece of functionality might be offline for a little while, but they can catch up fairly quickly after it. For you to take the whole system down is probably because you're doing something quite, systemic, which will involve a lot of different systems all needing to be updated at the same time. So probably one little piece of the cog didn't quite work, and it just kept the whole thing from coming back up. And they probably just kept thinking it was only 1 hour longer.
Can I just say that we're now over a week, I've just gone onto my mobile app and it is still not working.
It's still not working.
They're still limiting access to the mobile app. It's been over a week.
Yeah.
And the best part is that there's no talk of any compensation for people that have had bills to pay or mortgages to pay, but they are going to increase the interest rate 2%.
They're going to increase the interest rate.
2%.
Which is good if you've got savings, but not so good if you
spend all your money on bags.
One of the things we want to do as part of DevDecoder is introduce people that have got into the industry, what their experiences have been like and how they got into this. So this week we're going to be talking to a good friend of mine, Kyle. Kyle, how did you get into this industry?
I came in here with 2 weeks work experience. So I came here for work experience, then you hired me afterwards.
How did you get into software development to begin with?
Originally I was playing Minecraft with a friend. He's like, oh, it's made in Java. And I'm like, what does that matter? It's like, oh, you can write it yourself. I'm like, oh, cool. And I went and did 4 years of digging into it. I was like, this is pretty freaking hard, but it's fun.
There's a lot of people out there, a lot of young people out there that still play Minecraft today. In fact, It's one of the few games that has had such a long lifespan to it. What do you think it is about Minecraft that, one, has given it that longevity, but two, has got so many young people interested in this industry?
I think it's personally, for me, it was the redstone. Being able to go in and make little calculators and little red doors, being able to make open doors that are hidden somewhere, and having a very low level on or off sort of situation. It's quite fun for me. I think for younger people, maybe just the creative part of it, being able to make really cool houses or buildings. And then with the addition of mods and servers, and modded servers, it's like 1,000 more different things you can be doing.
Rebecca's given us that look that she knows.
Confused.
Have you? You do at least know what Minecraft is, don't you?
Yeah, I know what Minecraft is. My brother used to play Minecraft.
Have you played Minecraft?
No.
Okay. And this is some strong evidence here, because Rebecca's never actually been a developer and didn't play Minecraft. And both you and I...
Mind blown.
Both you and I did play Minecraft and are developers, so there's perhaps a correlation with people who are interested in getting in the industry. Maybe should play more Minecraft.
I mean, my brother isn't a developer, so...
He isn't a developer, so it's not a case that playing Minecraft guarantees...
No.
What a shame. Yeah.
So you help mentor our code club, so what's it like mentoring young people? Do you do Minecraft with them, or do you use different websites?
We use different websites. I know there's like a scratch version online, where it's like you have to program what your player does, and it's like an RPG style game. Just go around to attack zombies, find a way to avoid being shot by traps or whatnot. We used that a few times. We did do a bit of Minecraft with one of our code clubs, because it was the programming and the Minecraft group together, like best of both worlds. We didn't get to do too much about that though, unfortunately. It might be something we can do in the future again.
It's interesting that almost everybody that I know that's ended up in development came through a route of enjoying playing computer games and wanting to be involved in computer games and stuff. Now that you are actually in this industry and you're working it, what are you doing now?
Most recently, we've been doing a lot of support cases, working through issues we've had recently, doing some customizations right now as well. Doing some TLS 1.2 changes to some of the Babel stuff.
At the same time though, you're still educating yourself, aren't you?
Oh yeah. Most recently I've been looking at graph databases, which essentially remove the need for foreign keys and still need primary keys, but removes foreign keys from tables and makes it more node-based records.
Yeah. So what do you enjoy most about your work? Why do you like being in this industry?
The problem solving. It's really fun. It's like playing Factorio and Tis 100 just for the fun of it. This is what work's like. Just get given a problem like, oh, great, I have to solve this.
So have you ever heard of Kickstarter?
No, obviously not.
You've never heard of it? So
No.
Kickstarter is a really interesting website that allows people to back projects, and you put money in, and if you raise a certain level, then the project's considered backed, and the money gets taken out of your account and given to the project creator to go off and do whatever that project is. And it's been quite controversial because a lot of these projects, too many of these projects have failed to deliver anything, and you basically lose your money there. It can be for all kinds of stuff. I've used it a few times to back interesting games. And the reason I mention this is because on Tuesday, one of the Kickstarter projects I backed actually went live, and it's gone out there, and I've got to play the game. And I think this is like the third or fourth, probably fourth, or maybe even fifth game that I backed on Kickstarter that's actually come off, and I've ended up being able to play it.
So have you backed any that haven't come off?
Yes. I did back... actually, I backed a few that didn't reach their funding target, and so didn't come off because of that. I think all the games, to be fair, actually, I think all the games that I backed ended up actually being delivered.
So you'd say that you've got a sense for knowing which games are going to make it?
No, I think it's important if you go into a Kickstarter backing project, you assume you're just throwing your money away. Okay, so I think if you go into it thinking that I'm buying a game here, then you see a lot of people getting really upset on a lot of these forums and stuff going, well, I paid £30 or I paid £100 to back this game and it never got delivered. And to an extent, I have a bit of sympathy because it's like, okay, yeah, you did pay quite a bit of money and stuff, but on the other side, you knew when you're going into it that there's no guarantees that this is going to get delivered, and as long as they've done their best efforts to deliver it, that's fine. But I think that I know what kind of games I'm excited to see and I'd enjoy to see, and I know the kind of creators that have got a good history of delivering stuff in the past. Those are the kind of ones I go for and back, and so far they've all been really good. But this week it was BattleTech.
Are you going to describe it, or are you just going to smile?
Well, I would say it's a Mech Warriors game, but your vacant expression tells me that that's about as informative as telling you it was BattleTech. So, the best way I could get you to picture this, without going techie, is Pacific Rim. No, have you never seen the movie with Idris Elba?
I have no idea what that
Robots, big robots fighting. People inside robots.
I watched iRobot. Good film.
Yeah, not that. So these are like massive robots, but somebody sits inside the robot and controls the robot. So like you'd only be you'd fit inside the head.
Oh, like the robots out of what's it called? Avatar.
Kind of, but much bigger than that, and even bigger than say like the Hulkbuster in the Avengers movie. Yeah, you've not watched the Avengers movie.
Nope.
Well, anyway, imagine you have these huge robots like 10 meters tall. Okay, so like 2 or 3 stories tall.
Yeah.
Even bigger in some cases, and you sit inside the robot and you control the robot.
That'd be cool.
In that code.
So that's what you do on the game?
Well, this version of the game is like a tactical one, so it's turn-based, a bit like XCOM or any of those. So I've been really excited about that. That's not your kind of game, is it?
No, but so what Craig normally does in especially the marketing meeting, he'll sit on his phone and play a game. So are you going to be playing it in one of your meetings?
No, because he doesn't play on a game. Doesn't play on a mobile phone. It's a PC game.
Are you going to be sat at your computer?
Playing games?
Yeah.
No, I don't sit in marketing meetings. Okay, occasionally if what you're saying is boring me, yeah, I might do that.
All other times.
You must be very boring. So that was a really packed podcast. There's a lot of content in there, and I hope people got something out of it.
As you can probably tell, a lot of the people that we speak to like giving back to the community, just like we do, by having a positive impact, whether it's from mentoring hackathons or core clubs. Hopefully within all the next podcasts, we speak to people who are the same.
Well, join us for the next podcast. We'll hopefully be talking to some new interesting people, more interesting than Rebecca. I'll have a new co-host.
Should we call Rachel?
Rachel. So join us for the next podcast where we'll be interviewing more people, showing you a little bit more of our industry, and hopefully giving you some tips on how to get involved.
Bye for now.